Welcome back to Salty Sunshine Reality Recap with Miss Natalie. Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
How's it going?
Good.
End of the year, last pod, 12:30. Holy cow.
Oh, almost the new year.
Oh my gosh. Isn't that crazy?
It flew by. Like this year, I don't even know. I don't know. I was just thinking, I can't believe it's almost January.
I
Like,
know. Do you do anything like any type of thing for the end of the year or the new year? Like I saw this thing online that was so cute to get a jar and like every week put a little paper post-it note and fold it up and throw it in there with like one nice thing that happened that week.
that's cool. I like that idea.
I know. And then at the end of the year you go back and read it all.
I love that. I just would have to remember to do it. And I don't think
I
I
know.
would last for like 4 weeks. And then I'd be like, forget it.
I would have to put a calendar notice in my phone so it
Right.
pops up like write your nice note.
A reminder. Yep.
Yeah. Everything is on reminder with me. Everything.
We realize.
So breaking news this morning.
Mm-hmm.
So the Giggly Squad podcast dropped an episode and Paige DeSorbo confirmed her breakup with Craig Conover of Summer House. I'm sorry, he's on Southern Charm, she's on Summer House. And it's so funny because like 3 weeks ago on the pod, Brie and I were talking about the rumor swirling that they broke up. And I was like, well, I don't think they're broken up right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did, just because for no reason, actually. I thought they were a great couple. I don't know, for whatever reason, I just didn't see them going further for much longer. And lo and behold, they broke up. And they've been broken up for a little bit, maybe a few days, maybe a week, because this was a pre-recorded episode. So
Do you think they were broken up before the holidays and then they that's what I think happened. Yeah.
And she said on the episode that they both gave each other time to just kind of like digest it, talk to their friends and family, like just be whatever. And then she came on the podcast and like it's a very amicable breakup. There's no bad blood. They just want different things. So
I could see that between them, and they weren't really going anywhere with the relationship. Like they were not going to get engaged. They didn't want to move to each because she very much wants to stay in New York and him in Charleston because he has his business out there. So I was like, you guys need to just break up already and figure. I thought maybe it'll play out on Southern Charm this season. We'll see some of that. I don't know if the breakup per se, but I think that maybe
definitely not the breakup because they just broke up right this month and they stopped filming that a while ago probably because it's about to come out. So I don't know. I do think she really liked him in the beginning. I'm not saying she doesn't like him now. I'm just saying I think feelings change over time and as they've grown, because they always say how much one has pushed the other to grow and they were really healthy in that way. I feel like the spark was not, I don't know. I think they really love each other and like each other. I just don't, it's one of those things like it's not at the level.
I think, yeah, it was time. So we're going to see some of that on because Summer House is coming back on too.
It's already on.
Oh, it is?
Oh no, sorry. Southern Charm is already on.
Yeah. I'm like, did I miss something?
No.
Well, we've been deprived of our shows this week or last week and now this week. So
they need to change this because those shows are pre-recorded. There's no reason not to put it on air, and everybody's off these past 2 weeks. There's no reason.
I know. I think Andy Cohen likes the 2 weeks off and he doesn't want to do any of the after show or watch what happens live. And so this is why they take this end of the year break.
But why can't they post the shows without the Watch What Happens Live?
We don't need that. We're okay without it.
Also, I think it's a very elitist thing to do also because only the rich of the rich of the rich of the rich is traveling the entire time. And they're only placating to those people, not the rest of the world that watches it, that is probably home more than they're traveling.
Right.
So that's not cool.
Our shows. So
I had to catch up on a bunch of other stuff, which was fine, but
gives you time. Yeah.
Yeah. You like to have your regular shows though. It makes you feel like out of sorts. It's like, what's going on?
I'm like, what day is it? Who are we? Like, what are we doing? Like, come on.
I know. Okay, so let's talk about before we get into the shows, like there's some like outskirt news. One being Kim Richards, Kyle Richards' sister, called 911 on herself, I think. And
cat, right?
She what?
Was it about a cat or something like that?
She said something. Yeah, I think she said her cat was with her. but she obviously like was not okay and under the
Oh,
influence.
poor Kim. She's just a train wreck all the time.
She's just an alcoholic, or I don't like to even use that term alcoholic. She's like, she has an addictive personality, so the addictive could be, alcohol could be anything,
Right. We don't
and
really.
it's probably multiple things. But it's really sad because, you know, if you know an alcoholic, you've seen this before, and it's like you think they're going to get better, and the choice really stands with them. If she
Right.
doesn't really like admit to herself what the issue is and like actually stop it, like it's not going to stop. And it's sad to watch.
It is.
You know, she's 60 years old.
I know. And
So,
she has kids and grandkids, and I think Kyle and Mauricio really, and probably Kathy too, have kind of enabled her all these years. They've always taken care of her, and that's where we saw a lot of the tension back in the day when they were first, filming Beverly Hills.
yeah,
I hope the best for Kim. I mean, she has a lot of addiction problems, and hopefully she's doing okay.
I know. So she didn't meet the criteria for involuntary hold though. So they evaluated her, but they didn't, I don't think they took her anywhere, which wouldn't really do anything anyways, I feel, but they
Like,
said the police reportedly did not take any action and left regarding the cat.
was there even a cat? We don't know.
I know, right? Maybe she has a cat, it's an outdoor cat. I don't know. I don't know. I've seen, you know, the Kathy Hilton. I've seen those kind of like, you know, don't talk about it. Like they try to be very private, but it's like everyone can see what's happening.
I know.
Everyone knows. So sorry about Kim. Then James Kennedy
Oh,
with his domestic violence situation. He's another one that it's like all these people think they can self-diagnose and they can heal themselves and just decide to do weed or drink sometimes, or you know, they make the rules, and it's like you can do that if you're a regular person that's not having an issue with addiction. But if you have outbursts, if you have issues every time you drink, you cannot drink.
right.
You can't. And so the night he got arrested, he went to Kathy Hilton's holiday party, and Nick Vile from Vile Files, he was there, and he
Mhm.
said that he thinks he's the only person that saw this at the moment, but like James Kennedy walked by with somebody, whether it was a friend or I don't know who he was, with another guy, and he turned around and talked so badly to him that Nick was like, "Oh my god," he was so rude to the guy, like a dick. And that was the same night, so he obviously was drinking or something.
He flips a switch, that one. Like he totally he starts getting some drinks in him, and he completely changes. We've seen it on Vanderpump with him.
Yeah.
And it's sad. Like I love James. I think he's great TV. I think he's hilarious, but there is that other side to him that I don't like.
Hmm.
I'm like, he's rude to people. He's
Yeah.
the way he speaks to women, and I'm sure he's gotten physically, he's had the physical altercations. I mean, we saw some of that, and he's
With
just
Kristen, remember with Kristen,
yeah,
and even with guy friends, you know,
yeah,
the physical stuff. But I think what drives me crazy about reality, it's not reality TV, it's the public, which obviously the public is filled with weirdos, but every time he snaps at someone or says something like funny but completely like nasty and rude, everyone cheers him on. They're like, "Oh, we love him. He's so funny." And it's like it's not funny because that behavior goes hand in hand with like all the other problematic stuff. So like the public is egging him on, and
yeah,
he thinks he's a star, and so that encourages him to continue that. So
yeah,
that's not good.
yeah.
Do you think Allie's gonna stay with him?
I was just going to ask you that. Like, I'm wondering because you're hearing that maybe she moved out, or we don't really know. What I heard was that somebody in the neighborhood or like a neighbor called about hearing them screaming or whatever it was. I don't know if he was pushing her, but they have to, whatever it was a domestic dispute. So, I think people also, the media runs with that where it's like, was he violent or physical, or was he yelling? We don't really know. Was it verbal?
Yeah,
So
we don't know the actual details.
right. So it's a lot of like, speculation right now. I don't know what happened. I wonder if Allie's going to stay with him. I don't really know because everyone that comes on these shows is like a girlfriend or a boyfriend. They have this huge platform now, and Allie she's at Kathy Hilton's party, and she's doing readings, and she's blowing up right now. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if she stays with James.
It'll be interesting, but also I think when you're with someone that abuses stuff like that, it takes maybe a few breakups to really break it off. Because
Right.
that's what happened with Raquel. She put up with it, and one day she's like, if you drink again, I'm out. Like, you come to a point that you get tired of it. It takes a few times though. But also I think in the police report, or maybe shortly after, she kind of defended him and made it sound like he didn't do anything. But then you see her moving out and maybe backtracking a little, because maybe she wanted to defend him. I think she did say that he took the cancellation of Vanderpump very tough. I'm like, okay.
He did, yeah. But also, people, when they have these issues, they're like, well, do you want to press charges? And I think after like a few days or a week,
Yeah.
I don't. So I don't know if we'll ever get the full story, but yeah, he's a ticking time bomb. He has a lot of issues that he needs to work out. I think he'll kind of always be like this. He'll probably always go back and forth. I think he's his best version of himself when he doesn't drink. And
Yeah. Exactly. And he needs to like say, I'm never going to drink again, because I remember, like, he has a messed up childhood, and his mom is a crazy. Like, his mom, remember when she stole from Kristen?
yep.
She like
She's
got her credit card number and went and got Botox like a few times, and like she's literally stealing. That's like shows like the pressure and the bullshit she's put James through, because I know he's talked about sending them money and taking care of them. So all of that, he actually needs to probably go to counseling and like deal with his childhood before he can deal with the other stuff.
Yeah. I think the canceling of Vanderpump was at a good time for James. Now he needs to focus on himself. So I wish him the best because I love him and he's great TV, but he definitely needs help. He needs help.
He needs help.
No more pump teenies for him. No more.
Oh, and then Sandoval also, we talked about last time how they're closing up shop with Tom and Sandy's, or whatever that was called. And then Sandoval's he was in hot water a few weeks ago because his then girlfriend, Victoria, I think they broke up since, they kind of had a fight and a falling out. And she took to her IG, I don't know if you saw this, and she said, Tiger never changes his stripes. He likes best friends, and she feels like a fool. And then he got to her, you could tell, because then she deleted it and recanted and apologized online that it was just a stupid fight. And she didn't mean it. And this is... So, Tom Sandoval, you could tell he's like a manipulator. He'll come and like try to like change your mind and stuff. But obviously he got caught cheating or something.
Something happened there. So that, or they just needed some attention. Who knows? Who knows?
Oh my God. Sandoval is a lost cause.
He is.
All right. Okay. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Did we talk about Kyle and Mauricio, about how awkward they are on screen and everything?
Yeah, we did a little bit.
So I think he has a new girlfriend that they've been pictured out and stuff, but Kyle and him have been pictured in Aspen together with their kids, which is nice. I mean, I like that they're friendly. But it's so funny. Remember Lisa Rinna? Okay, so Harry Hamlin, her husband, they were used to be on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. He loves to cook. Remember, he was always cooking on the show, and he would cook for people. So he's known for his sauce. And so he even gave, like, remember he gave Garcelle like a
sauce.
And he got mad, or someone got mad because she didn't say thank you the way they wanted her to.
She did say thank you, and then they wanted more. I'm like, what more do you guys want?
Exactly. So I guess he is trying to monetize his sauce and stuff. So he sends it to Bethany Frankel.
Oh.
Did you see that?
And I heard about this.
So he sends it to Bethany Frankel. And, she's very brutally honest. And she's like, listen, if you're going to send me stuff and I don't like it, I'm going to say it. Like, don't send it to me. Please don't send me anything if you think I'm just going to blow smoke up your ass, because I'm not. She goes, there's people out there that are struggling. The economy sucks and people are poor. And I'm not going to about to tell them to go buy something that sucks.
Right.
I was like, I love her for this so much. You don't understand. So she tastes the sauce and she tastes it cold with her assistant. And they're like, ooh, no, it has like too much wine. It tastes like pure wine. And everyone in the comments is like, oh my God, what are you doing? You're going to ruin his brand. You got to heat it up. You can't just eat it cold. So she comes back on. She's like, all right, people, I'm going to heat it up. Let's try this again. So she heats it up. And she's like, immediately, no, oh God, no, oh God, no. And then the assistant's like, it's a no, it's a no, it's a no. So that was so funny. And then I saw somebody else, other people that bought it too. And a lot of people were saying, yeah, it's heavy on the wine. It's not that great. So I was like, that is
Wow.
wild.
Wow. I read about it a little bit and then I was like, I need to go and find the reel of her trying the bolognese.
TikTok. It's on TikTok.
Okay.
You'll find it.
She is very honest and, you know,
I love it.
she's testing out, she's a tough critic. She's testing out a lot. I mean, she goes to different restaurants and she'll,
Yeah.
you know, like you said, she'll order the food
She's here in Miami now. She's
Yeah.
been frequenting all the hot spots, which you couldn't catch me dead in because they're like full of those like people that think they're so cool, and it drives me nuts. Some of them, not all the places. Some of them are good, but yeah, no, she's so funny because like even when I'm nobody, even if I tell you I like this product, I tried it, I love it, like I feel so stupid like saying something of a product I know nothing about, or if I don't really like it, I wouldn't want to do that either.
Yeah.
It's like you want to tell people I get excited when something works. Like I love results. You know how I am. I'm like, oh my God, you got this one. Oh my God, this one you're going to love because
Share it.
yeah, you want to share stuff that works. And then she also, weeks after that or days after that, Meredith from Salt Lake City sent her caviar. She has a caviar line.
Meredith does? Or
Meredith has a caviar line, and Bethany's obsessed with caviar. She's always eating caviar on freaking crisps or
yeah.
on bagels on crisps.
I actually watched one of hers and I was like, oh, maybe I could afford that caviar. I'll have to try.
You like caviar? I've never had it. Oh.
I'm like, I'd love to try that.
But they're fish eggs. I don't think I'd want to try that.
Yeah, I know.
Looks yummy.
Definitely would. I don't know if I'd like it, but I would definitely try it.
So Meredith's were like huge balls. They were huge balls, and she said they were really different. She didn't understand what kind of caviar it was because they were really thick, but they were super flavorful and like a different kind of taste than she's used to. But she said it was really good. So, anyways, going back to Beverly Hills, Dorit, what do you want? Do you have any thoughts?
Dorit. I'm liking this version of Dorit.
Me too.
I really am. Like, I like to see, I mean, I think she's here for it. She's showing up for the job. She's definitely like putting it all out there. It'll be interesting to see kind of what happens with her and Kyle. Although I think that her and Kyle being in a fight, it's like, okay, I'm sick of seeing that after a while. Like they just need to pick up. And I also, what's interesting is seeing how Garcelle and Dorit, like Garcelle just seems to be coming for Dorit this season for no reason. Like I don't really understand. So that'll be interesting. And then I like Dorit and Bose's relationship. I think that's really cool. Her and Erica and Bose, I like seeing them together. Like I think those are fun scenes. And yeah, totally. I'm loving this version of Dorit. It's interesting because I think she's been kind of fake the last few seasons because she's hiding a lot. You know, she's been a lot of
hiding her real personality, and I love the way she fights because she's smart.
Yes.
When she's not just saying things to say them, she's actually like leveling you down, and it's almost like you can't really fight back because she's a good fighter, like verbally, like an intelligent fighter.
Yes.
And I like that.
I like it too. Nobody's lost a fight. I mean, she hasn't lost any fights with anyone.
Exactly. Because she's an intelligent fighter and she speaks eloquently. So I really like that side of her. And when at the party, oh my God, when Kathy Hilton walks in and tries to take her weave off in the middle of the party,
I'm like, girl, take some clothes off rather than your weave. Like your hair looks good.
I feel like her age is showing, like with the way she acts, Kathy Hilton. It's like, come on, she's entered Grandma Cookieville, like,
yeah,
you know, it's like it's not that funny. People are laughing at you, like not with you at this point. So,
you know what I was thinking about Dorit is she was so long, like she's good with her words. She likes to talk, and before she was so long-winded about nothing, and now she's using that to her advantage, where she's really coming out and she's not putting up with anyone's shit. So I'm loving that. But I know Kathy Hilton's a mess. She's just
Kathy Hilton's a mess, but when Dorit was fighting with Kyle, it was amazing. But then whatever party they had, I forgot that Camille Grammer,
Oh yeah,
when
Camille.
she showed up, and Dorit's like, "Why are you here?" She's like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you talking?" Like, it was so funny the way she shut her down. And
Mhm.
Camille does not know how to fight. She says stupid things, and she really leveled Camille. And I like Camille, but that was fabulous to watch because she was coming at Dorit so dumb with stupid things.
I loved it because she's always had it out for Dorit, and Camille is just she's so two-faced and she's so hypocritical. Like she'll say one thing to your face, and she's always done this with Dorit. And Dorit was like, "I'm not putting up with your shit today." I was like, "Thank God, finally."
I think that was like probably the best scene of the whole season. Like, fantastic. It was awesome. And then Sutton, oh my God, she's like least valuable player. It's like she's trying to be the therapist. She's trying to be like the mom, and the therapist is like, stop. Like, you don't match that. Like, your personality, you're too. She has no like self awareness. She has no self awareness. So she's like acting like she's all mature and she's above some, but she's not. She's immature and she says things that are silly. And so everyone was like, stop, like, stop being a therapist. Like, nobody needs you.
Yeah. She's acting like I've been divorced. I've
Yeah.
been this, so I'm gonna coach Dorit, I'm gonna coach Kyle. And then her and Garcelle have this alliance where it's just kind of toxic. I'm like, you guys, you need
Yeah.
to fuck Garcelle and vice versa. Like you guys need to kind of like I used to really like to see their friendship, and now I'm like, I really need to call each other out. Come on, let's
It's so funny because in one breath, Sutton will say, because we're all sisters and we're just sisters and we got to stand each other. And then she turns around and she slices your neck off with a horrible insult. And then she goes back to, but we can also be with each other. Like, we can be for each other after we fight. And it's like, no,
typical Southern Belle, you know? I
no,
talk
she
shit.
needs to cut it out. I don't like it. Jennifer Tilly, she's so funny. Like, you forget she's even there, but did you see all her fabulous homes? Do you know how she made her money?
Yeah. From The Simpsons.
No, but it's even crazier because she was married to the creator of The Simpsons, but they got divorced and she didn't get that much. But then when he died, she just got it by default
Yeah.
because he had no one to leave it to. That is
She
luck.
yeah. She
Wow.
Like she knew, no, she didn't know what she was doing. She even said she had like, I had no idea in the
Yeah.
90s came up with this concept. Who would have known? I'd be thanking him every day.
Wow. I mean, talk about a blessing.
I know. She lives a fabulous life. She is fun to watch too. I like that they brought her on. I think she's
She's so above it all. She's just like, what's going on over there? Oh, okay, whatever. Like, what's going on over there? She's
like, let me show off my newest, core bag. I mean, she's just happy. I love that.
and I like when she was like, I'm gonna wear whatever I want, even though I look crazy to some people. I'm gonna have fun. This is what brings me joy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's so nice. And then Garcelle, when she was talking about Dorit's robbery, she's like, I don't think Dorit is lying about what she went through, but I think somebody is.
Okay, let's talk about that because I think that was the start of PK and Dorit's,
Yeah.
not start, but definitely that's what really.
But do you
But
know what Garcelle's trying to say?
right, she's trying to say that PK knew and Dorit.
Right.
I believe that. I think
Really?
yes. I
That
think
would be crazy. If PK did that to Dorit, he'd go to jail.
I know this is a man that I would not put it past him to do something like that. Some kind I know it sounds terrible, but that happened, and then all of a sudden, PK and Dorit, it's like PK was traveling all the time. He really wasn't around. And even when they came back last season or a couple seasons ago, when this was all happening, it just seemed so weird. And it was on camera. I mean, it was just, I don't know, something about it is really fishy. And then they happened to leave
The
for
fact that they were so nice to her. It feels like the robbers were kind of nice to her.
yeah, they left. They're like, hey, we're going to leave your cell phone at the gates.
Yeah.
Call the cops when we're done. We're not going to hurt your kids. We're not going to hurt you. Or, it was just bizarre. Like, I think PK had something to do with that. I do. I don't think Dorit knew that. I mean, she seemed genuinely traumatized.
If the cops thought PK had something to do with it, they could like look at his text messages and everything, but they haven't investigated him for it.
It all
But maybe if they did, they'd find something.
Maybe.
That's why, if that is true, which, like you said, it's not that crazy of an idea.
People do crazy things, especially when they're millions of dollars in debt. I mean, and have you seen how her house is in foreclosure? What is that about? I didn't even think she owned the house that they live in.
Right now,
Yeah, they were saying, I keep hearing or I keep reading things about her house being in foreclosure. I thought that was a rental because half the time they're renting these places. But there's
maybe they bought a cheaper house that's in foreclosure and they rented a nicer one.
maybe, but like the house they're in right now, that really modern farmhouse that they have, I thought that was a rental, but I think that one's in for anyway, there's a lot of money issues.
There's
There
a lot of money issues, and she wears brand names like it's like nothing.
have you noticed she's a little more she's not wearing I mean she's wearing a lot of Chanel this season, but that could be old stuff. But it just seems like she's not as flashy this season, which I kind of like. I kind of like seeing her a little more simple. The hair is more simple, the makeup. We don't have all these bedazzled things in the hair and the full on glam all the time where she's spending probably 5 hours getting ready. I mean, that must be exhausting, but
And she looks cuter. She looks better for it.
yes, I
It's like
love,
a
I love,
nicer,
yeah.
yeah. And then Garcelle, I liked her story about how she bought that house and she built it from the top up, remodeled it, all that stuff. Like that was a really nice moment for Garcelle, like showing that she worked so hard and she's so proud of that.
Yeah, she's a hard worker. And I always like Garcelle, but this season I'm not loving her. And, everyone has their bad season. There's always a season where we hate them. And Garcelle, this might be her season because.
No, I like her. I just think she doesn't fight fair. She's kind of a bully.
Oh, she's
a little bit of a bully.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure. Okay, let's talk Real Housewives of New York because there's not much to talk about. So we can just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So Brynn announced she's leaving the show.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yes. So shortly after one of the last episodes, she announced she's leaving. And I think maybe because she's getting so much hate, or I don't know if there's another reason. But when they went on vacation and they were deciding the rooms, and
Cough.
when Rebecca's like, "Oh, I'm sharing. I thought I'd get a alone time because I have kids and I never get a moment to myself. I was like looking forward to it." And then Brynn is like, "Oh, we all work. We're all tired." She's like, "Well, when you have kids, you understand." The way Brynn reacted to that, she deserves to be fired because that was the most annoying, nonsensical fight. She took that so way left, and it's so ridiculous because it's like everyone will tell you, kids or not, if you don't have kids, you don't know what it's like to have kids.
Don't understand.
Sorry.
Nope.
If you've never been married, you don't know what it's like to be married. If you know, like, obviously, if you never had that experience, you don't know what it's like. That's what she was saying. She's like, you're so self-involved. You think she's like attacking you because she knows you can't have kids or haven't had kids, or like it was annoying.
That struck a nerve for Brynn, and I was like, you are so dumb. But it reminded me of who's that one girl on OC where she didn't have kids, she only had stepkids at the time, and her and Vicky were going at it. And Vicky's like, well, when you have your own kids, you'll understand. And she was like, no,
I don't remember.
kids. I forget what's her name. King Edmonds. Edmonds.
Oh, Megan.
Megan. She did the same thing where it was like, well, my stepkids are like my children. I was like, no.
No, it's the same.
That's what this reminded me of, where it struck a nerve for her. And maybe it's because she's upset that she doesn't have kids, but it's so true. It's like, you don't understand until you have kids. And she could have just said, okay. But she ran with that. I was like, girl, you don't know what you're talking about.
Or she could have just said, oh, that really like struck a nerve in me because like I've been dealing with the difficulty of trying to find out my way to having kids. But like, I know you didn't mean it that way. Like she wasn't rash. She was so irrational about it. But I liked how Rebecca stood up for herself.
Me too.
She had a little Dorit moment. She's like, but she also is like an intelligent fighter. Like she's not like, deep in the mud saying dumb things,
Right. I like her. I think Brynn would do well on another show, like maybe a Southern Charm, a Summer House.
I don't like her personality. I find her ultra annoying.
I don't think she fits in with these the New York housewives, they're kind of, these girls, they have their shit together. I mean, they're a little bit more, Brynn just doesn't fit in with them. I feel like she's kind of like the black sheep with these women. So
she gets along good with Erin because Erin, I feel, is cool. Like she's just like a cool girl.
Yeah, and Erin is like, she's kind of like the Carrie Bradshaw of it all. Like she's the girl friends with everyone. So yeah.
The way that Uba comes after Aaron sometimes makes me so uncomfortable. I'm just like, dude, you keep saying she's your best friend and you just talk, but she comes at her hard. Like Uba's like a little bit like Garcelle. Like
Yeah.
she's a little like
Yeah, she can be aggressive.
oh my God. And then when they're in Puerto Rico, well, this is all in Puerto Rico, and they're walking and they split up. And then I thought it was so funny because I've done this with my friends. When Erin shows the photo of her husband's penis to
Yeah.
Bryn and to who else was there? Bryn and
Who was that? Who else was there? Was it shoot. It wasn't Uba, right?
no, Uba had an issue with it.
Okay.
It was Bryn and Jen.
Okay. Yeah.
Jen. So yeah, so I thought it was so funny because I would do that. I my friends have done that. Like close friends, not just random, like
Yeah,
people
yeah.
you're really close to, you could do that. Cause like you're like, ooh, like you make fun of it or you whatever. Like it's fun. But only with close friends.
Only close friends. I mean, I was even thinking about it. I'm like, would I show my husband's penis just like that? I mean, it's funny, but I was like, she found that picture fast. Like, for me, I'm like, I have that in my hidden file. Not easy to access, where she was just like, look.
She's not gonna well, she was standing up for him because they were making fun of his penis.
Good for her.
Jen said it looks like it's little. She's like, I don't think so. I thought it was great. And that means she's really secure in her relationship and it's just funny. That's why I like Erin. She's like such a girl's girl. Like I could totally hang out with her because she's like, she doesn't take herself so seriously. I like her.
I like her too.
I like the whole cast except for Bryn. And when I say I don't like, obviously that's a loose term. Like I don't know her. I just don't enjoy watching her.
Yeah.
So that was so funny. But yeah, Bryn is leaving, and then Raquel seeing her mom after all those years was so nice. I like Raquel. I like the whole cast. I'm telling you, I like New York. I like their vanilla drama. And Rebecca Minkoff, her socials are more entertaining than her on the show, though. Like her socials are really cool. Like she's a cool chick. She dresses so nice, and I like her socials.
I like her. You know what? New York's growing on me. I feel like it'll be kind of like an SLC where I wasn't super into Salt Lake. And now I love the show. So I feel like sometimes they just need a few seasons to really develop the friendships and the drama and maybe bring in other cast members. Like Bryn is leaving, so they'll bring somebody else in, which could totally change the dynamic. It will change it in, one way. So yeah.
So good. Okay, Salt Lake City.
Our favorite franchise right now.
Oh my God. The last episode I remember is when they're at the airport, leaving to their trip, and Bronwyn shows that she got attacked by a dog.
Brutal.
And she's super brutally beat up. But what's so great after you find out that not only did she not press charges, that dog was like a foster.
Oh.
She like paid, the foster had some sort of health condition and she paid to help that dog. Like she helped the dog that attacked her.
So it wasn't one of her dogs, right? I mean, I was under that impression. Okay.
No. She went to the dog park. She had her dog. There was a dog there, and the foster parent that had the dog there was on the phone or something, not paying attention to the dog. And she went to pet the dog, and the dog flipped out.
Yeah.
But to me, like I forgot what kind of condition the dog had, but if a dog has if the dog's in pain, they'll react. So I don't know if it was like a physical condition or a mental condition or what it was. But that makes sense if the dog is in pain and no one knows and he takes him to a dog park and then that happens. But I thought that was so wonderful. Like, oh my gosh, she's such a dog lover like I am, because that's what I would do. I'd probably adopt a dog after you talked. But that was crazy.
I hurt for her seeing all those bruises and I was like, wow, like that's rough. I mean, she really rallied to go on this
Yes.
Wow.
What a trooper. Yeah. She paid for the medical issues and helped to find it a home. I love that about Bronwyn, so I'll never hate her. That's just beautiful. But on the other hand, her coming after Lisa for not like bunking in the same bed with her, I just couldn't. I'm like, either you're acting or you're just like the neediest person on the planet. This is weird. Like you need counseling with your Todd daddy issues, because this is all. I feel like everything goes back to Todd.
Everything back to Todd.
Everything goes back to Todd.
Don't you think Lisa was sending her some kind of message when she bunked her with the other girls? Because, they've been friends for 10 years. She just got attacked by a dog. You think Lisa would be like, hey, you're in the same villa as us, and I'm going to put you in this room. It's really nice, blah, blah, whatever it is. So I think there was something to it. And then she brings Brittany in, which I like Brittany a lot. I think she's fun for the show, but it's just, I don't know. Something is there, but
I think you're probably right about that, only because I think because Bronwyn has been coming after Lisa, in my opinion, for zero reason the entire time. I think that now Lisa has a hard on for her because she's like, why the hell do you keep attacking me? I haven't done anything to you but bring you on the show. So because Bronwyn has been so far up Lisa's ass and like attacking her for no reason, I think it's distanced them. Now she doesn't trust her. But she's making it worse because now Bronwyn's like keeps attacking her even more.
and Bronwyn's been attacking everyone. Let's be honest. I mean, she's really coming for everyone. Yeah, she's a mess.
I thought it was interesting the way they're on the boat and like it wasn't the time, in my opinion. It was very awkward the way she's just like, well, you don't know what I go through with Todd and he cheated on me and blah, blah, blah. And it's like it was such a weird transition. Like they weren't even talking about, they were talking about something completely different. Or like how Lisa doesn't understand like what her problem is. And she brings that up. And then she was on Watch What Happens Live and Todd was in the audience and she said, oh, I made it sound worse than what it was. He never actually cheated on me. He just had conversations with someone. It's like, yeah, right.
Why is Todd spending 5 days a week away from you when he supposedly has all this money? He should be in a position to where he is not traveling 5 days out of the week. I think Todd wants his cake and he wants to eat it too. So something weird is there. I'm sure he does cheat on her. But yeah, it's very contradictory in my opinion. I'm like, you're like this ride or die for Todd. Now you're trying to say that he's a cheater. I mean, there's just so much going on there. I mean, it's great TV, but I cannot figure it out. I don't
Yeah, there's a lie. So either she tries to be honest and then he fucking reels her in and is like, I'll fucking bury you, bitch. Like, and then she turns it around.
right.
Or she's doing it for show. And then I don't know what his reaction. Like, did you see how Lisa and Meredith were kind of not defending Todd, but trying to like make it not look so bad because they almost know how bad he's gonna react to seeing this on TV. So
They didn't believe. They straight up did not believe her. They were like, even Lisa.
Yeah.
I just don't know if this is true. And then they want to say that Lisa and Meredith are cheaters, so that's why they're defending Todd. And I'm like, wait a second, when were they cheating? They kind of lost me there. I didn't really understand that part.
Well,
of it.
Meredith and her husband split, and they both went with other people.
Yeah, that I know. I don't think they're cheating. And if it was, okay, fine. I think they were both cheating then. But I don't know about Lisa. I don't think Lisa was cheating on her husband. Who knows?
No, I think Lisa has a good relationship with her husband.
Yeah.
You could tell. It's just, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think Bronwyn's all over the place, and I think there's a deep-rooted issue with Todd.
Yeah. Should be interesting.
But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, but I did see Bronwyn post, like, recently during Christmas, her mom was in the hospital for something, and it was really cute. Like, she was talking about, like, all these health issues, and she spent the whole Christmas, like, trying to take care of her mom. Like, I love Bronwyn, and I feel bad talking about her sometimes, but I can't help but be honest about, like, the other stuff. Like, there's something off with her. With her neediness,
Yeah. I love her and then I hate her and then I love her and I go back and forth with her. But again, I think she's a great addition for the show.
I know. And then remember when Brittany got up? I don't know if it was what episode it was, but they were talking about something at the table and she's like, what about me? Do you remember that? When she got up, she's like, wait, why are we talking about me? And it's like, ooh. And then when she said, oh, my daughter and I, she just casually, like, she doesn't have a relationship with her kids, which is so weird and no one gives a shit. Like, she's one of those people that people don't take seriously. And
No.
there's just that she has that energy. So no one gives a shit. So when she tries to talk about things, no one like inquires more about it or tries to like, they just don't. And it really drives her crazy. So then when she talks, oh, my daughter slept at my house and we had such a great time and it was such a revelation. Everyone's like, yeah, whatever. They keep going on about their conversation. And she was like so pissed and nobody cared. And it's
Yeah.
almost like she's begging you to care. Like they just don't care.
Yeah. They know she's full of it. She's like the little kid that always wants attention. I have an announcement. I have an announcement.
Oh my God. And then she posted recently, which was not a flex, and I felt so bad. It was kind of embarrassing for her. She's like, the rumors are true. I forgot what song was in. It's like, oh, and then she put that guy that's been
Ugh,
dragging her.
saw
She
that.
she's with him now, and it's like, ew, that's not cute. That's not cute.
The worst part of it is she turned around and kissed him and I could see her whole weave. I was like, no, girl, this is not good. Like, we should have redone the video. Like, did you watch what you posted?
And she did a bunch of work to her face because she looks different
Yeah.
than from the show.
Yeah.
Like since the show, she's done a bunch of stuff.
I know. She's a lot. I mean, I like her too, but there's
I
something.
like her for watching entertainment purposes, and she seems whatever, but if she was like in my girlfriend group, like every time she talks about getting cheated on or not being taken seriously, in my head, all I would say is like, you deserve it because
Yeah.
you keep walking right back into it. What do you expect?
Talk about nobody believing her. I mean, like what Bronwyn was saying was, I mean, that was deep and it was a lot, but with Brittany, they never believe anything she's saying. They're like, okay, so what? Your daughter spent. I mean, it's not. Nobody cares. They're just
Nobody
not.
even asks, why don't your kids talk to you?
Yeah, nobody asked. But I don't think anyone's that invested in Brittany either. So they just don't know. They don't even know how to deal with her because she just is an attention-seeking person.
That's
So
what she has no substance. It seems like
right.
it's all surface.
Yeah.
So nobody really wants to get to know her.
And I do think they're right about her being, but I think she sees multiple men. I think there's a lot of issues there. I mean, if your kids are talking to you, what's going on there? And I don't know. There's some stuff that I'm like,
She definitely seems like the type of woman that's more woman than mother. Not that you have to choose, but like your priorities should be a certain way. And that doesn't mean you can't have both, but you should like be there when it's important. And she seems to just put a guy in front of everything type of thing. Maybe. I don't know. That's what it looks like.
possibly. Yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly. What else happened? I don't know. I think all they did was fight about Bronwyn and Lisa, and
Well, Lisa gets really upset at the dinner and, oh, what's her name? Mary. What about Mary? Like
Mary. Oh,
I like seeing Mary and Angie's relationship, especially with them. Like she's leaning so much on Angie and Angie's kind of keeping the secret from her. Cause even Meredith asks her, where were you yesterday? And I don't know if the girls know, but I'm assuming that they don't. Cause she kind of told Angie not to say anything, but it was nice to see them like embrace and hug. And, they didn't really talk about her son, but I'm glad he went to rehab willingly. And, yeah, and it was just funny with her ordering the pastrami soup. I'm like,
oh my God.
and then I'm like, why are we eating minestrone soup in, Mexico? I'd be like, where's the tortilla soup? I mean, that's what I want in Mexico.
Kathy Hilton and Mary from Salt Lake together.
Oh my God.
Blow my mind. I'd feel like I'm on a drug. It's just like they don't make sense half the time, and you're just like, what?
Yeah.
They just say things that don't make sense. And then Lisa got really upset at Angie, right? Because Angie's kind of stabbing her in the back. I feel like I don't know. A lot of people like don't like Lisa. I think everything they come at Lisa for, I don't see happening. So it's just like, why do they come for her so hard?
I felt bad for Lisa this last episode, and her getting up and crying. I think I would have done the same thing because I feel like there are so many attacks, and Bronwyn could have handled everything better. She could have just been like, okay, this is what I'm doing. I think Lisa, this was almost a test where she wanted Bronwyn to be like, okay, I'm just go with the flow, have fun, and try and get on everyone's good side. And then she pulled this little move on the boat where it was like, I want everyone to feel sorry for me. And Lisa's like, I can't anymore. And there's still, and what really set Lisa off was Angie saying, well, Bronwyn shared so much on the boat, and I haven't got to know you like that. And, you haven't shared that much in the last blah, blah, blah.
Which is bullshit. Because Lisa and Angie are super close, and you could tell, like, in some conversations they've had, like, Lisa does talk to her, so like it's like doesn't make sense.
That struck a nerve. And so she was like, are you kidding me? And so I'm siding with Lisa on this. And it's kind of like, you know, Bronwyn's playing chess and she's like, okay, checkmate. Like she's trying to get everyone on her side and Lisa's over. And Angie fell for it. Angie's over here like, you know.
Angie's like, some of these women are just like so hard to like, what are you doing? It's just like,
loyalty. Where's the loyalty sometimes? I'm like, come on.
or the common sense. Like if you're going to come at me with something that makes sense. I'll be like, okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Like they just fight about things that are like real. It's just, I don't know.
It's all the Vita tequila that they're drinking.
And she had a big sign of Vita, like a big like light thing. She's like really promoting the shit out of that thing. It's so funny. Okay, Southern Charm. Did you watch?
Yes.
Okay, so Southern Charm, it's my favorite show. Like I'm obsessed. I love Southern Charm. And the opening scene that they show Shep's ass in the shower, like what? Why would they do that? Ew.
Arrogant. He hasn't changed one bit.
Well, apparently he's like getting help for alcohol.
The Southern Jacks is what he reminds me of. Like, and listen, he's great TV. I listened to a few interviews with him though recently, and I'm like, like he has not changed. But he's great TV. I just don't think he's changed at all. I think he's exactly who he was last season. Maybe a little less alcohol, which is good. I think that
is good.
Yeah.
The girl that he's dating, Sienna, they look like they have zero chemistry. I don't think she's into him at all.
No. They don't make sense as a couple. And she's a beautiful girl, but no.
Gorgeous. She's gorgeous, but she's almost too cute in a different way for his style.
Yeah.
It doesn't match.
No.
I don't know if they're still dating. Probably not. But when when they had that cowboy thing with the dog stuff, and Madison said, you got Sienna over, this hot bombshell walking in, and then you have Taylor. She's like, you got Taylor over here looking like Bret Michaels. She's like,
I'm loving Madison this season. Like, I love Madison this season.
I love Madison every season, but I will say the way she talked to JT at that coffee thing to call him out was unacceptable.
No, that was messed up.
I didn't like that.
What is she about? I'm like, get over it.
So apparently she's putting him down, but he didn't say he thought we were having an affair. He said that he called me to ask questions, like wanted to know what was going on, and he did.
Yeah.
Madison's husband called JT to see what she was doing because he feared she was with Austin. And she didn't want that out there. So because JT opened his mouth in any regard, like now she has to explain herself of why they were on FaceTime in the first place. And so like Madison would have done the same thing if things would have been switched. They're on a reality show, so the way she came at him was unfair.
Yep.
I think.
I agree.
And he left the show half season.
Ooh.
He didn't like it.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for that guy. I mean, I think everyone was kind of annoyed with him this season to start off. But like you said, he was just stating what was going on and everyone kind of spun it against him. And then Madison was like, we're not friends anymore. And I was like, damn, that was harsh.
That's not even the worst part. When she said, you think I'd had an affair with you?
Yeah.
That was mean.
That's mean.
That was mean. Although he's too easy of a target.
He is.
Because between last season when he came after Austin in a ridiculous way, then this season giving Patricia a cane, he's too easy to bully.
I know.
So maybe it's best for his mental health if he's not on the show. But the new girl Molly I really like. She's funny.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
And then when Whitney told her she doesn't need to eat that cupcake, the world fell on him. But he's a dick. I mean, you could tell. He's just like a rich elitist.
Look at him. He's still single. He's not married, doesn't have any kids. Like, he's always going to be that person. He's a snob.
I love Patricia, though. She's like, there go my dreams of having grandchildren.
She knows. She knows.
But she tells everyone like it is. I don't know why she doesn't tell her son.
I'm sure she does. I mean, I think she's over it.
Let me tell you, it's so funny. And then
I don't know about either. I'm like, he's really trying.
I was on, a while ago, like last year I was on Raya, and I kept seeing Whitney on there and Shep.
Oh,
Whitney and Shep, Whitney and Shep, Whitney and I'm like, ill, ill.
swipe.
Let me tell you something. For Riot to be so exclusive and have a waiting list and you have to be referred by, you have to be somebody.
That's
And
right. Okay, I'm not familiar with but the Raya one is for public figures and celebrities, right? Or is it what is it?
you
Is
have
it
to be somebody. You have to have a following. You have to be an influencer. You have to be someone. And my friend had a friend that got her in, and then I put that friend, and it got me in.
okay?
And I'm nobody, but it got me in. And when I tell you, I've never seen worse candidates. It was the worst app I've ever been on. The
Mm.
worst. It was like weird art people, and I saw John no, Bodies of Wonderland. What's his name?
Oh yeah, yeah. You name John?
John something. Mayer? John
Yeah,
Mayer.
John Mayer.
I saw him on there. But these are all like player type guys. It's like it's not quality people.
No,
I don't
that,
care if you're like I have no interest in that. So I found it awful. I got off of it.
that's interesting.
Yeah, it was terrible. But yeah, Southern Charm is the best. I love it. And then poor Madison, her husband has thyroid cancer, which put a big shabbat on the having a baby
That's
right now.
felt so bad when she was talking about that. I mean, he's so young, and hopefully he is in remission and it doesn't come back, and they can end up having a baby. That's so sad.
It is sad. Do you think Vanita has a crush on JT or had one during the
Yeah,
filming?
I wish those two would get together. Like I
Woo!
had a lot of chemistry when they were filming that one scene, and they were just
I
hanging.
only saw it from her to him, not from him to her. And I think he has a girlfriend that I think I saw online.
Oh, he does. Well, he was in love with Taylor, and I don't think
Mhm.
that was, I think he was still in love with her this season, but obviously she's moved on, which we talked about that last time. Not a good situation with this new guy. I think that's gonna fall apart.
Really?
Yeah,
Taylor?
yeah. Her boyfriend just seems well. Then they had the ex girlfriend. I don't know if she was really a girlfriend. I think she was somebody he was hooking up with, and
So the girl that he was hooking up with also hooked up with Shep.
right.
So they have like this whole.
Right. Because that's how it is on these shows. Like they're all intertwined. That's why they bring him on. But I don't know. Maybe Taylor, maybe her and what's his name? Gaston will, work out. But to me, I get player vibes from him. I don't think that's going to work out with them.
Okay, real quick, going back to Paige and Craig. Remember Craig's ex-girlfriend Naomi?
Yes.
I swear she still is in love with Craig. What if they get back together?
I could see that happening because
Mm-hmm.
Craig's such a better place in his life
Mm-hmm.
where Naomi wanted him to be back then when he was like addicted to Adderall and drinking, at 10 in the morning every day.
She did make fun of his sewing and his bar license that he couldn't pass, but she also was super young and he was on Adderall and he was
Yeah.
acting kind of lost.
No,
So how was she supposed to know his sewing would blow up?
we all thought that was stupid at the time, and look at it now. I mean, he was smart in that sense. He was like, why am I going to kill myself being a lawyer when I have this platform on this TV show and I have this little side hobby that I love? I mean, that's how people really make.
Yeah, but I think he got lucky and it just turned into that. I don't think he planned, let me make a pillow and it'll blow up. I think he just did it and it worked out.
No, I think he just liked the hobby of it
Yeah.
and that he loved, and he wasn't too serious about it either. I mean, he struggled with it too in the beginning, but really he was smart in the sense where he's like, I'm on a reality show. Like, let me try and start my own business. Why am I going to kill myself as a lawyer? Like, he saw the writing.
Also, when he was with, do you watch Summer House?
Mm-hmm.
When he started dating Paige, I don't know if you remember when they were in the talking stages and they weren't exclusive. Craig kind of messed with her, not mess with her on purpose, but they weren't exclusive. He would like dated Kristen Cavallari. He hooked up with Naomi, his ex-girlfriend, right before Paige, like right during Paige.
Yep.
While he was talking to Paige, he hooked up with Naomi. So there's still that spark there. I don't know. It's just interesting. I think Naomi's single.
The prediction for you? I think so. I think you're predicting that it could yeah. Let's
You
see
know
what
what?
5 brings.
I know. You know who else I predicted their breakup? Kendall and Bad Bunny. Back when we first started the podcast, I told Brianna, I'm like, I don't know, I don't see them together. She's like, they look so happy, they're great. The next week, they announced their breakup.
Yeah.
I could tell when couples like
Right.
or good, like a good long term or not.
Yeah, you're a good judge of that. Yeah.
I don't like it. Not that I didn't want that to happen. I love Craig and I love. I mean, maybe they get back together later, Paige and Craig. Who knows? They just
Yeah. She's very set in her ways and there's nothing wrong with that, but like she wants to stay in New York. So if somebody had to say, okay, I'm going to move, and both of them were very much like, I'm not moving from where I live. And so the long distance just doesn't work after a while. And there was no engagement either. So I was like, you guys need to figure out if you're just going to do this like long term,
yeah,
long back and forth and have a long term relationship. Or I think Paige wants to get married and have kids eventually, probably
eventually.
yeah, probably within the next 5 to 7 years. So it's time.
I am always a firm believer that if you like someone enough, like you just make it work and you charge ahead. I think they liked each other, but not enough.
Yeah. You have
Or loved each other, but not enough. I
right.
think it just takes that person to make you not care, and you just it flows and you do it. You both want the best for each other, and you keep going forward. So I don't know. It's sad. It's funny too because I've met guys and I'm like, oh, like I would love to like give it a chance, but like if they do live in a certain area and you do like to be a cute girly and like dress nice, like you can't really move where they are because it's only fun for visits and you can't really like it'll kill your soul as a girl like to never be able to like dress up and
Right.
like her and Charleston, she could never dress and like feel cute.
Yeah.
Even though Charleston's really nice.
She was with the beige Betties and she didn't like remember when they went to Thanksgiving? She's like, what the hell? And Naomi was there. That was awkward. Woo! That was awkward.
I think that was hard for Naomi. I think Naomi really because she left Craig to be with that doctor guy, and that doctor guy then cheated on her. She thought he was the best thing ever, and he cheated on her, and then it broke her heart, and then she went back to Craig.
And then she hooked up with Whitney. I was like, girl, no.
That's right.
Oh my God. Why did they all hook up with Whitney? Because Catherine did that too. Like they all, like while they're like on the show and there's nobody, like they've broken up with whoever or whatever, they all end up hooking up with Whitney. And I'm like, is Whitney just like...
Well, Catherine hooked up with all of them. She would have hooked up with Craig, and probably Craig didn't want to. She hooked up with Shep. She hooked up with the other one and the other one.
I think her and Craig hooked up. It just was, I think it's like a huge secret that they're going to take to the grave. Like
they made out and they didn't really go further.
Right. It was like on a,
yeah.
It wasn't, them hooking up, but maybe they just had a little moment. But yeah.
I miss the old days.
He's crazy.
I miss the old Southern charm. Those were the days.
Those were the days. I miss Catherine. The hot mess. I love to see it.
I know. All right, that's all we have for reality recap. Happy New Year. Happy New Year's Eve. We'll see you next year. Bye.
Bye.